Breaking news is coming in from Venezuela as a powerful magnitude 7.5 earthquake has shaken large parts of the country, sending powerful seismic waves through cities and towns and triggering widespread panic among residents. Reports continue to emerge from different regions as emergency services assess the situation and rescue crews begin searching damaged neighborhoods. The earthquake was felt across a vast area, with countless people rushing into streets, parks and open spaces as buildings wait for what many witnesses described as one of the longest and strongest earthquakes they had ever experienced. Tonight, we continue following every major development surrounding this natural disaster. Around the world, millions of viewers are watching dramatic earthquake footage, eyewitness videos, rescue operations, emergency response teams, and the latest updates as officials evaluate damage and monitor ongoing aftershocks. Every hour brings new information, making this one of the most closely followed seismic events of the year. Social media quickly filled with earthquake videos, showing ceilings shaking, shelves collapsing, lights swinging violently, and frightened residents running outdoors. Dashcams, security cameras, mobile phones, and surveillance systems capture countless moments as the ground moved beneath homes, offices, shopping centers, schools, and public buildings. Videos described as earthquake caught on camera, natural disaster footage, breaking news live, and massive earthquake today rapidly spread across the internet as viewers searched for verified information. According to preliminary seismic monitoring, the earthquake released an enormous amount of energy within seconds. Strong shaking was reported across multiple regions, while numerous aftershocks continued to affect already frightened communities. Seismologists explain that aftershocks are a normal consequence of earthquakes of this magnitude and may continue for days or even weeks, depending on underground fault activity. Emergency management agencies immediately activated response plans as rescue personnel began inspecting damaged structures, clearing roads, and assisting families forced to leave their homes. Firefighters, medical teams, police officers, engineers, and volunteers worked together throughout the day, responding to emergency calls while authorities urged residents to remain cautious around damaged buildings. In Caracas, residents describe moments of confusion as furniture moved across floors, windows rattled violently, and electrical systems briefly failed in some neighborhoods. People evacuated apartment buildings, office towers, hospitals, hotels, shopping centers, and transportation hubs while emergency announcements encouraged everyone to remain calm and avoid elevators during ongoing aftershocks. As daylight revealed the aftermath, inspection teams began evaluating structural damage to residential buildings, commercial properties, schools, hospitals, and public infrastructure. Engineers carefully examined walls, bridges, overpasses, roads, and utility systems to determine which areas remained safe and which required immediate closure for public safety. Images arriving from different locations showed cracked pavement, fallen debris, damaged facades, broken glass, and disrupted transportation routes. While damage assessments continue, authorities stress that inspections must be completed carefully before buildings are reopened to the public. Hospitals activated emergency protocols to prepare for incoming patients, while medical personnel worked around the clock, treating injuries ranging from minor cuts to more serious trauma. Ambulances remained active across affected districts as emergency dispatch centers coordinated rescue requests from multiple communities. Search and rescue specialists equipped with thermal imaging equipment, listening devices, rescue dogs, heavy machinery, and specialized engineering tools carefully searched damaged structures wherever concerns existed about trapped occupants. Every operation required patience, precision, and coordination to ensure both survivors and rescuers remain safe. Across Venezuela, many families gathered outside their homes waiting anxiously for official updates. Parents comforted children, frightened by continuous aftershocks, while neighbors checked on elderly residents and those requiring additional assistance. Community volunteers distributed drinking water, first aid supplies, blankets, and essential items wherever temporary shelters were established. Meteorologists confirmed that weather conditions would remain favorable for rescue operations, allowing helicopters, drones, and aerial surveillance teams to assist emergency personnel in surveying damaged areas more efficiently. Drone footage provided valuable aerial perspectives of roads, neighborhoods, and infrastructure affected by the earthquake. International audiences searching for earthquake live, breaking news today, natural disaster, earthquake footage, massive earthquake caught on camera, aftershock update, disaster news, live emergency coverage, and earthquake in Venezuela today have closely followed developments as news organizations continue verifying information before publication. Major international news organizations including CNN, BBC News, Reuters, Associated Press, Sky News, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, Al Jazeera English, France 24, Fox Weather, Bloomberg, and Euronews continue monitoring developments alongside local Venezuelan media, providing rolling coverage as officials release updated assessments. Experts remind viewers that earthquakes cannot currently be predicted with exact timing. However, modern seismic monitoring networks allow scientists to detect earthquakes within minutes, estimate their magnitude, emergency response efforts. The strongest shaking may last only seconds, but the consequences often continue much longer. Infrastructure inspections, restoration of utilities, transportation recovery, engineering evaluations, humanitarian support, and community rebuilding may require days, weeks, or even months, depending on the scale of damage observed. Authorities continue urging residents not to enter visibly damaged buildings until structural inspections have been completed. Even buildings that appear stable externally may have hidden structural weaknesses requiring professional evaluation before they can safely be occupied again. Emergency preparedness specialists recommend keeping emergency kits readily available, including bottled water, flashlights, batteries, portable radios, medications, important documents, first aid supplies, power banks, and emergency contact information. Knowing evacuation routes and family meeting locations can significantly improve safety during future seismic emergencies. Throughout the day, rescue workers demonstrated extraordinary dedication while continuing operations under challenging conditions. Their efforts highlighted the importance of emergency planning, professional training, and cooperation between government agencies, humanitarian organizations, engineers, healthcare workers, and local volunteers. As this breaking story continues developing, millions around the world remain focused on Venezuela, hoping for positive news from rescue operations and wishing safety for everyone affected by this powerful natural disaster. Additional updates are expected as authorities continue inspections, assess infrastructure, monitor aftershocks, and coordinate ongoing emergency response activities. Emergency services have been mobilized while authorities continue assessing damage in multiple communities. Reports from eyewitnesses describe intense ground shaking, people rushing into open areas, and emergency sirens echoing through several neighborhoods as the situation develops. Welcome to our live breaking news coverage. Throughout this broadcast, we are monitoring official updates, eyewitness accounts, emergency response efforts, geological information, and the latest developments following one of the strongest earthquakes to impact the region in recent years. Across social media, dramatic earthquake footage, earthquake caught on camera videos, surveillance camera recordings, dashboard camera clips, and mobile phone videos continue appearing every minute. Rescue teams remain on alert while authorities ask residents to stay calm and remain prepared for additional aftershocks. The powerful seismic event struck without warning. Buildings swayed for several long seconds. Furniture moved violently inside homes. Windows rattled. Power interruptions were reported in some districts, and thousands of people immediately evacuated offices, shopping centers, schools, apartment buildings, and public transportation stations. Residents describe the shaking as one of the strongest they have ever experienced. Many say the ground seemed to roll beneath their feet, while ceiling lights swung violently and alarms activated across commercial buildings. Families gathered in parks and open spaces, waiting for official information before returning indoors. Emergency officials continue inspecting bridges, highways, hospitals, airports, schools, tunnels, utility infrastructure, and residential neighborhoods. Engineers are conducting rapid structural evaluations to determine whether damaged buildings remain safe for occupancy. As the hours pass, aftershocks remain a major concern. Earthquake experts explain that powerful earthquakes are frequently followed by numerous secondary tremors. Some of these aftershocks may be strong enough to cause additional damage to already weakened structures. Emergency response teams continue coordinating search operations wherever assistance has been requested. Firefighters, police officers, medical personnel, disaster response specialists, and local volunteers are working together to evaluate reports coming from different communities. International news organizations including CNN, BBC News, Reuters, Associated Press, Sky News, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, Fox Weather, Al Jazeera English, Euronews, France 24, and Bloomberg continue monitoring developments as more verified information becomes available. Videos described by eyewitnesses show shelves collapsing inside supermarkets, merchandise falling from store displays, ceiling panels dropping in some locations, and frightened residents gathering outside residential buildings. Officials continue verifying every report before confirming the full extent of the damage. Experts from seismic monitoring agencies remind residents that the first earthquake is not always the final event. Strong aftershocks can continue for hours, days, or even weeks, depending on regional tectonic conditions. People are advised to remain aware of emergency announcements and avoid entering buildings that show visible structural damage until inspections are completed. The earthquake has once again demonstrated the immense power of nature. Within seconds, everyday life changed dramatically for millions of people across affected areas. Businesses temporarily suspended operations, while emergency management centers coordinated information from multiple municipalities. Rescue vehicles could be seen moving rapidly through city streets, while emergency communication systems remained active. Hospitals activated emergency preparedness protocols to ensure medical teams were ready to respond if additional casualties or injuries were reported. Many residents describe hearing a deep rumbling sound moments before the strongest shaking began. Others reported feeling the initial vibration grow rapidly into violent movement that lasted long enough for people to recognize the seriousness of the event before evacuating buildings. Transportation systems experienced temporary disruptions while officials inspected bridges, elevated roads, railway infrastructure, and public transit facilities. Safety inspections remain essential following major seismic events because hidden structural damage cannot always be identified immediately. Disaster management specialists emphasize that every major earthquake presents different challenges. Ground conditions, local construction standards, building age, and distance from the epicenter all influence the level of impact experienced by individual communities. Throughout this live broadcast, we continue monitoring every official announcement regarding emergency response efforts, geological updates, infrastructure assessments, transportation conditions, power restoration, communications, and public safety recommendations. Search trends around the world have surged as millions of people look for information using phrases including earthquake today, Venezuela earthquake live, earthquake breaking news, powerful earthquake, earthquake footage, earthquake caught on camera, natural disaster today, aftershock warning, emergency response, disaster live, seismic activity, earthquake update, rescue operation, dramatic earthquake video, eyewitness footage, and major earthquake news. Experts remind everyone that earthquakes cannot currently be predicted with precise timing. However, early warning systems, modern seismic monitoring, earthquake-resistant construction, emergency planning, and public education continue reducing risks and helping save lives during future disasters. Communities across Venezuela now face the difficult process of damage assessment and recovery. Engineers continue evaluating buildings one by one, while emergency crews prioritize locations where assistance is needed most urgently. Every verified update remains important. Officials continue encouraging residents to rely on confirmed information rather than rumors circulating online. Accurate reporting helps emergency responders allocate resources efficiently and prevents unnecessary panic. As darkness approaches in some affected areas, emergency lighting equipment, portable generators, and response vehicles remain deployed wherever required. Relief organizations continue preparing supplies should additional humanitarian assistance become necessary. The coming hours will be critical. Authorities will continue releasing updated information regarding infrastructure inspections, transportation conditions, utility restoration, emergency shelters, and ongoing public safety measures. Our live coverage will continue following every verified development as this major natural disaster response unfolds.
これサード大丈夫？やばいやばいやばい。
絶対やばい絶対やばい絶対やばい。いや今動けんこれやばい動かんほうがいい絶対動かんほうがいい。